President Martens, dear fellow Europeans, I'd like to speak about fair rules. Fair rules, it is a principle, departure from which will see us incur a moral risk as well as economic risks. The current debt crisis is also a crisis of values. Extricating ourselves from it requires us to recognize that living on credit is not a solution if we have the future generations in mind. We are looking for unity rather than confrontation. We respect liberty along with responsibility, and most importantly, at the moment, we respect rules. Fair rules that maintain a balance between the rules of the market and social justice, the nation states and Europe. Firstly, fair rules in a fiscal union. Fair rules mean that the EU rules are of the kind to ensure reduction of the state's debt burden to the requirements stipulated in the treaties. Many problems arise from the fact that whilst we have defined who we are and what rules we are subject to, these are not being followed. Unequivocally, we support more effective enforcement and increased stringency of the rules agreed for balancing our budgets and economies. Our budgets and our economies. It is my pleasure to announce that Estonia's budget for next year will have a structural surplus. Secondly, fair rules to operate the free market. We need to implement the basic liberties agreed a long time ago, removing barriers to the internal market, achieving free movement of services, and speedy implementation of a single and accessible European patent system would all accelerate growth, which is badly needed. The European economy will not be sustainable if we are focused only on the old economy. It is important to create an internet economy and a single digital market through a favorable legal environment, digital infrastructure, and digital trust services for e-commerce. And thirdly, fair rules to create a new financial perspective. For instance, it is a very difficult task to justify the huge gap between the direct aid to farmers in the Baltic states and the EU average. It conflicts with the fundamental principles of the European Union, equal treatment and a level playing field for competition. And last but not least, it is also a fair rule for the European states to not only rely on the United States' presence for military defense, but rather to contribute to our own defense. I applaud President Barroso's proposal to discuss defense issues at the European Council. Europe needs to move clearly towards a greater commitment to engage in substantive defense cooperation and develop the capabilities to enable contributions on it. Budget cuts and defense spending need to be not mutually exclusive. At the request of my party, Estonia increased its defense spending this year to 2% of GDP, and with this decision, a balanced budget can be achieved as well. Fair rules and a groundedness in values need to be also a global policy for EPP, and memory is a part of being grounded in values. We must remember the shared past of Europe, the crimes committed by the Nazi and communist regimes. And I do call on the EPP political parties to seriously discuss the idea of holding a tribunal on international communist crimes. Our choice is to move toward greater cooperation and become stronger together. Rules are not just words on paper, and they shouldn't never be. They are a basis for our shared perceptions, as well as they are key to the shared life and future of the members in our European family, of the European peoples, of the Europeans. This will decrease uncertainty and tensions. This will harmonize perceptions. And however, solidarity presupposes that everybody accepts rules and acts to comply with them. The main objective of the European People's Party is to make all it can to strengthen the European Union on the basis of values and fair rules. Thank you.